みんなを助けるヒーローに。なれるかよ。昔からこの校訓が大嫌いだったよ。クースウルトラプロミネンスバーン。
Yo! Now this is a second parter, so please go watch that before you watch this one. Since love and hate are two sides of the same coin, this is mostly glazing, but I will talk about things I hate, I guess, but out of love, so bittersweetness, if you would.
緑谷助けに来たよ飯田君。
Parts 2. The characters. Is this fucking accent like kind of... Is this impression a little racist? I don't know. Characters are important for a story, and for a long time, My Hero Academia was awesome with the characterizations of each character that was shown on screen. If My Hero Academia was anything, it was good at making both the main character and the side characters feel important. Which, by the way, most shonen series have trouble doing. Cough, cough, Dragon Ball Super, cough, cough. But anytime a side character got into the limelight, it didn't feel like the main character was overshadowed. I can't think of a specific moment where characterization was at its peak for My Hero Academia. However, I can think of a specific chapter where it was literally the last time characterization at all mattered. Please keep this chapter's number and name in the back of your mind. Chapter 290, Dabi's Dance. This chapter is quite literally the last chapter where MHA was at all good, but we'll talk more of that in its own section. Now, if we're going to talk about characterization, we need to talk about our main character and the supporting cast around him, Izuku Midoriya. Now, if you could remember my last video, which you should since you definitely watched it, right? Anyway, if you could remember my last video, you might have remembered that I said that initially I did not like My Hero Academia. But I do want to say something real quick. Initially, even though I didn't like My Hero Academia at first, I did like Izuku Midoriya. Now, a lot of people didn't like Izuku at first because he cried a lot, but I fail to see why that's a bad thing, because all that is just us having a new type of main character who isn't either overly happy all the time or overly pissed off. Because, well, believe it or not, people who cry a lot do exist. You know, I'm sorry to say, God, I have to say, if Izuku Midoriya's characterization had a peak, which it did, it would have been when he first accessed Float, which sucks because Izuku was literally made going through one of my favorite characterizations for a character, or character arcs for a character, and that is the arc where they genuinely don't give a shit about themselves, where their self-worth or ego is so low that they will literally value everyone else before them, which, yes, in a way is good, but in the way they do it, it's completely negative. Izuku sees himself only as the vessel for One For All, and this is genuinely when I started liking Izuku even more than I already did, because now all he has to do is go through a character arc to show him that he does matter, and all they have to do is execute it well. Sadly, Chapter 290, or episode 11 of season 6, was the last time, and I really do mean this, last time where I genuinely believed that My Hero Academia was good.
Keep looking towards the future and you could be a better man? What? Nothing to say? Well, allow me! The past never dies. You will reap everything you've sown! Enji Todoroki! Let's fall together! Come and dance with me in hell, won't you? Well, speak up, Dad!
Now, I won't sit here and lie to you and say that chapter 290 was the last chapter that was at all good or even amazing, but let me hit you with a hypothetical. If I handed you a buffet of shit and gave you some good food within the shit, would your overall experience still be shit? That's just to say that despite the fact that there were good chapters that I genuinely do love after 290, overall the story was kind of fucking ass. Look, I know the video title said things I love about My Hero Academia, and I know I had an entire video to talk about things I hated. However, I did forget a few things, and in order to talk about why I love this series, I have to talk about things I hate. And everything after 290, besides a few chapters or few stretches of chapters, I hate every decision, every fucking arc. I just don't like it. But enough dancing around Dabi's dance. Why the hell do I like this chapter, this episode so much? Well, number one, the plot twist didn't change because we guessed it. One thing a lot of writers do is that they will change the story because the fandom has guessed the plot twist. This is dumb sometimes because, well, if all signs lead to this plot twist and you change it, what the fuck, dude? One thing Horikoshi did that I honestly respect is that even though we guessed that Dabi was a Todoroki a million years ago, instead of changing it so we can be surprised, quote unquote, he just went all in with it, okay? All chips in, not folding shit. And it led to one of the greatest reveals ever. Because even though a plot twist, has to be surprising, it didn't really matter with us. Because let's be honest, even though this was a surprising plot twist, it was still awesome to see the reactions of every Todoroki and what Dabi was doing with the information that he had. The fact that he exposed Hawks for killing twice and exposed Hawks for killing Best Jeanist, and it was exposing Endeavor for all the bullshit and dumb shit he's done. It was awesome, okay? It was genuinely cool. Number two, Endeavor's gonna have shitty consequences for his shitty actions. With Dabi exposing Endeavor, everybody's gonna know what he did. Everybody was worried about Endeavor not having consequences because of his redemption arc. However, Dabi's dance reminds us that, well, if Dabi is a Todoroki and what Endeavor did was shitty, of course he'd probably expose him for doing shit like this. But alas, in one chapter, Horikoshi ruined everything. Oh, Best Jeanist is alive. Yay. Oh, Miracle got his quirk back, and it was an off-screen thing with Eri, which probably would have been cooler if it was an on-screen thing. Yay. Look, I'm sorry for being such a Debbie Downer, okay? Because when it comes to talking about things I love about this series, I really, and I do mean really, I have this urge to talk about things that ruined it for me. For example, Uraraka. Now, I am talking mainly about Uraraka for this part of the video, but I will be mentioning Izuku a few times too, or maybe more than a few, I don't know. Remember how I said chapter 290 was genuinely the last chapter that I actually really loved My Hero Academia, but there were a few chapters after that that I also still loved? Well, Uraraka's speech is one of those chapters. Uraraka's speech is probably one of my favorite speeches in the series because, well, on a surface level, it's genuinely just trying to plead to everybody to let this bitch boy take a fucking bath, but it also lets us see into what type of hero Uraraka wants to be. Uraraka wants to be a rescue hero, but not just rescuing civilians, she wants to rescue both heroes and villains. The fact that the first hero and the first villain Uraraka saves was Izuku and Toga is just perfect. If you look at the lives of Izuku and Toga, one thing that they do definitely 100% have in common is the fact that Uraraka is really important in each of their lives. Uraraka was Izuku's first friend. Uraraka was Toga's first love. Okay, I know someone's panties are gonna be in a twist with what I just said. Look, I'm not necessarily saying that Toge wants to fucking scissor Uraraka, but considering the fact that literally in the scene that's on screen right now, she says, "I want to become more what I love," and some people, for some reason, don't remember that there's multiple types of love. But look, I'm not saying it's purely romantic. It could be partly romantic and partly plutonic, or it could be 100% plutonic and 100% romantic. I'm not really sure. Look, I'm not trying to say that Toga is gay up straight or straight up gay. I'm just I'm just saying what I see on the screen, okay? And the fact that Uraraka saving Himiko and Uraraka saving Izuku were both done brilliantly is just a chef kiss to My Hero Academia. Literally probably one of the only good parts of anything after chapter 291. Also, Uraraka becoming a hero because she has money issues is just so relatable. Honestly, that's another good reason why I actually really like her. Relatable. All right, I got money problems too. Who doesn't anymore? This bird won't shut the fuck up. Okay, look, you're tired, I'm tired, probably, I don't know. Let's just talk about the ending already. Do I hate the ending of My Hero Academia? No, actually, I believe the ending is overhated. Is this ending perfect? No, it's not. There are some gripes I still have with it. Is this ending bad? No, it's actually, there are a lot of things I do like about the ending. When it comes to my feelings on the ending, they're very complicated. So if you guys could help me, write your opinions down below in the comment section of what you thought of the ending. And I'll make an entirely separate video because honestly, my feelings on them are too big for this one and I'm too tired to edit it. Anyway, my thoughts on My Hero Academia as a whole. I loved it. I love it. Okay, I do love it. Despite the fact that I'm mostly talking negative of it, I love My Hero Academia. Anyway, have a nice day, have a nice night, have a nice evening, and remember, go beyond plus ultra. Also, that panel was fucking raw, okay? I know I talk a lot of shit about everything after 291, but god damn. Go Beyond, it was a raw fucking panel, holy shit.